Now, you saw some loved ones that had died
Yes.
and gone to heaven. Who was the first loved one you saw?
Oh, the first one I saw was my grandmother, Mary. And I have to tell you, before this happened to me, I didn't think that that would be that important to the Lord, that you would really see your family members there. But when I got there, Jesus was standing to the left of me about 10 or 11 o'clock. To the left of me, and past him on the other side was my grandmother Mary. Not only my grandmother Mary was there, but other family members that had accepted Jesus Christ or the Messiah as Lord and Savior, they were there. And it was something. It wasn't just the ones I knew, but generation after generation after generation after generation of those that had accepted Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, that helped to make this man who I am on this planet right now. They were there to greet me in the heaven. I mean, I tell people you will have the biggest family reunion you would ever think of.
Now, what did your grandmother say to you?
My grandmother said something to me, said really two things to me. One thing she wanted me to know, and Jesus said the same thing, that this was not my home and that I'm just passing through. That's what one of the things that Jesus Christ really wants me to get across to people as I talk to them. You're just passing through this. You are not staying on this planet. The other thing Grandma said to me, which has really impacted me really greatly, when Jesus was telling me to leave, she said to me, she said, bring as many of us back with you as you can. And I came back with an understanding of how important family is to God. And it seems like you should have known that beforehand. But see, I had accepted Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. I was the first one in my family. The rest of my family, my immediate family, I have 3 brothers and a dad and a mother. They didn't come to know Jesus Christ when I came to know Jesus Christ. 10 years later, my mom accepted Jesus Christ. And so it was only me and her that were what we would call Christians at the time. The rest of them, no. And here I am. I had separated myself not only in the sense of spiritually or physically, but I also moved all the way up to Seattle, and they all lived in California. And I had very little to do with them. And here's my grandmother saying to me, bring as many of us back with you as you can. And I have a renewed understanding of going back and making sure my family members know about Jesus Christ.
How important is family to God?
Oh, it's very important, even to the point that when we don't look at it that way sometimes, but that's why the devil's attacking the family and tearing up the family. I think if you look at even the Jewish families, and I'm going to bring this in here because I think it relates so closely to Jewish families, and how keeping that bloodline, as the Jewish people try to keep that bloodline pure, because they understood how important family was to God. We sometimes have gotten away from that. Still, God is saying the same thing to everyone that comes to know him as Lord and Savior. Your family is important to me, in so much that I literally want you to go back to your family and make sure they know who I am. I really believe that each and every one of us that are born again, that if we go back just to our family and reach out to them, we'll be ministering and evangelizing more people than we'll ever come to understand.
Have you reached more of your family since you've been back?
Yes, I have. I've reached out to my brothers. My dad came to know Jesus Christ about 1.5 years ago. You know, he's 78 years old now, and so good father. But he made that commitment. He says he's a believer now. Do you know how much joy that brings me? We're not only...
But how much joy does it bring the Lord?
Oh, how much joy does it bring the Lord? I was there when people got born again. I was there when people asked Jesus Christ or the Messiah to be their Lord.
What happens in heaven when you see someone born again on earth?
When I was there, what happened was literally their name is shouted from one end of heaven to the other.